one of the hottest coaches in America. Ironically, he was also a leading candidate to get the job at Missouri, which, of course, Quinn Snyder decided to accept. The word was, if Snyder didn't take that job, Bill Self would have been the head coach at Missouri. So you know about the atmosphere. There you see Rush. Remember, not one player for Illinois that's on the floor tonight has ever won this game.
Darren, if the fans don't know about the significance here, I had a chance to talk to Sergio McClain and Marcus Griffin, a couple of the senior stars. They told me at shoot-around they've never beaten Missouri. This is a bigger game to them than when they played #1 Duke or #1 Arizona. It's for the bragging rights.
So it'll be Sawyer in the center along with Cook for the jump ball. And we are ready to play the annual Braggin Rights game. And Arthur Johnson controls. And here is the hometown favorite, the point guard, Brian Grout.
A lot of man-to-man defense both ways on the aggressiveness. That's the first thing that's going to jump out at you, Darren.
Brower down low. Here's Kareem Rush, 8th in the nation in scoring. Quick hands by Sergio McClain. Bill Self telling us that he really likes McClain's defense. Here's Cook. Stolen back by Clarence Gilbert. He goes up strong for the layup. It rolls off, but Johnson gets the rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds, but will stay on this end.
Missouri brings an explosion of intensity on the defensive end. Quinn Snyder, the great point guard at Duke, brings the same tenacity that Mike Krzyzewski did.
Here's Brower. He lets it go from 3 and knocks it down. So the Tigers strike first. McClain down low. Griffin, the turnaround, in and out. Cook with the rebound and the putback. And we've got a quick foul on the other end. They got McClain. 1-point lead early on. I'll tell you about this series. Braggin Rights series actually moved here in 1980. They actually have been playing since the 30s. Missouri, as you see, has won 7 of the last 9, 3 in a row. So as we mentioned, a lot of players on the floor for Illinois who have never tasted victory against Missouri. Kareem Rush in the lane. And he can't get it to fall. Bradford wants to run, but Missouri is back. Cook from 3. In and out. Rebounded by Griffin. He can't put it back. McClain can't clean it up. And finally, Rush comes away with it. And wait a minute. Griffin is limping. It looks like he may have hurt his ankle. You know, in the fight in the Illini, they have a lot of nicks and knacks. Let's see what happened here, Tim.
A lot of injuries for the Illini. He's got position inside. Nice little battle underneath. And what you're looking at here at this time of year, he came off, you can't see it, but he twisted the ankle, came down on T.J. Soye's foot. Got a lot of injuries. Sergio's got the hamstring. Corey Bradford, sore ankle. Frankie Williams got a shoulder, but yeah, we've talked about this is the rivalry right here.
Here's Gilbert driving into the lane. The floater knocks it down. He was outstanding in last year's game. Here's Frankie Williams wanting to bring it in. Now the kick out McClain. And we've got another foul. That's on Rush. Gilbert known for his outside shot, but this is something that Quinn Snyder says he's really developing.
Yeah, he's putting the ball on the floor, dribble drive, primary function of the Missouri offense. And first kid out here tonight, Clarence Gilbert, about 15-20 minutes before anybody else, and he worked exclusively on putting the ball on the floor, pulling up for the jumper.
Frankie Williams working from the baseline. Over to Cook. He can shoot it from out there, and he knocks it down. He's been a little inconsistent in this season, but he's got plenty of range.
Bill Self said something interesting. He said Brian Cook a lot of times has been our 5th or 6th best player, but he also has the ability to be the top guy in the court.
Arthur Johnson wants to work on Cook, and I think he traveled. Yeah. Moved his pivot foot. So a turnover by the Tigers. One-point game.
Feels a little bit like a heavyweight fight. Both teams coming out, throwing some jabs, just checking out their opponent.
Kind of feeling it out.
No of knockout punches here tonight, though.
Williams blows by Brower, the pull-up, and he knocks it down. Gilbert, quick release, front iron. Oh, what a rebound by Rush! Long pass. Griffin couldn't handle it, and it's a turnover by the Illini.
The Illini have to be favored in this game. They're number 5 in the country. However, the underdog has won the last 3 times. And one of the things you're going to see tonight, offensive rebounding by Missouri. The reason being they launch three-pointers so often, it spreads the defense and creates gaps and spaces to get to the offensive glass.
If you're Mizzou, what do? Good defense. A quick timeout by Clarence Gilbert. So a smart play by Gilbert as he nearly lost the ball out of bounds. Mizzou with a 1-point lead. We'll be back. Lou Henson, 2 excellent coaches. Stewart, of course, here for 32 years, and they cut their teeth in this rivalry. They actually even got into a verbal fight at halftime of one of the games, so it really has a rich history. And now to see it move into another chapter with these 2 terrific young coaches. There you see Quinn Schneider and, of course, Bill Self taking it into the future.
Darren, the 2 shoot-arounds that we witnessed today were as good as I've seen. The rapport with the players was outstanding.
There's Rush with that fadeaway. That's his favorite shot. He hit that shot against Iowa down on the block, a little fadeaway. A lot of young players, coaches will tell them, don't fade away. But with him, it's the exact opposite. He's really perfected that shot. Another steal. This time it's Rush in the open floor. Oh, what a move. And I think we've got a foot on the baseline there. McClain got back and made a terrific defensive play.
Kareem Rush comes loaded to the offensive end of the court. Bill Self says that he has the most complete, balanced scoring game in all of America. That's mighty praise.
Here's Gilbert. He has a very quick release. Here's Rush again, working on McClain. Down to Sawyer. Back out to Rush. They work the inside out. Into the lane, and Arthur Johnson gets the roll. Johnson has just been inserted into the starting lineup in the last 5 games and has already produced 3 double-doubles. Hook down on the block, and that is why many people feel like he is a future lottery pick. You saw him earlier shoot that 3-pointer, and then down on the block, able to spin his way and get a shot off. And a blocking foul on the perimeter by Griffin. We have a break on the floor. Kareem Rush and the Tigers with a 3-point lead. We'll be back. Terrific game going on. Pete Newell Classic. And you take a look at Bill Self.
Did I hear him say Jason Williams from Duke, best point guard in America?
You agree?
Very close. I like Frankie Williams a lot. They did very well against each other head-to-head.
Rush with that quick release hits the side of the rim. Here come the Illini. Down by 3 and a traveling violation, the 4th turnover for the Illini.
Point of emphasis during the last Illinois timeout had to focus on the careless basketball. Bill Self talks to his dad after every game. His dad hates the unforced turnover, and he talked to shoot-around today. This team's got to have a very mature approach against this Missouri pressure.
Rush now controlling. Lucas Johnson now checking in. Brower lets go from 3. A little bit out of his range. Johnson down low. Griffin the turnaround. He's their leading scorer.
Always a good idea to get Big Fell involved. Number 5-2 is their most reliable low post threat, about 16 points a game.
Once again, we have a 1-point game. Arthur Johnson with the baby hook. Oh, how soft was that?
AJ down low. Pershing doughboy.
Of course, he went to Pershing High School up in the Detroit, Michigan area. Here's Cook. Look at the bounce pass, and Bradford couldn't handle it.
When you're from Pershing High School and you're a doughboy, you got to be a little sensitive when you're 300 pounds. But Arthur Johnson has really helped sculpt his body. He showed up in Columbia, over 3 bills. Every morning he told me he was getting up, hitting the Stairmaster at 6 a.m. and he shed 30 pounds. Way to go, big fella.
Here's Wesley Stokes. Bounce pass. Johnson! On cue, Tim.
And how'd you like the dime right off the bench? Wesley Stokes making his presence felt.
The freshman from Long Beach working on the sophomore. Here's Cook again. He likes that 3. Knocks it down. He's feeling it tonight. He already has 8. Gilbert into the lane, and he's fouled. When you talk about Cook on the other end, he's a guy that has been a little inconsistent. We talked about it. You see his ability. This is why many people feel he'll be playing in the NBA. But the outside shot, but against Duke, against some of the bigger programs, he struggled at times, but no fear in his eyes tonight.
Many moons ago, Bill Self was an assistant coach at Kansas. He helped coach a player named Danny Manning, and he says that he envisions Brian Cook being that kind of a player. The one thing that Brian Cook is missing is a go-to move and the ability to take it down low.
Good point. Gilbert hits the front end, gives Mizzou a 3-point lead, knocks down the second one. And now he'll get a breather. Checking in for the Tigers. It's Ricky Paulding, who came to Mizzou because he was good friends with Arthur Johnson. 2 Detroit guys coming together.
A couple more on the way next year. Recruits Robert Whaley and Jeff Ferguson. Another careless episode of ball handling.
Here's Lucas Johnson on the baseline. No foul call. And here come the Tigers the other way. The newly inserted Harrington sticking Stokes. Here's Rush. Quick pass underneath. Oh, nice play by Gage.
How did that get through? What a delivery.
And you know why he caught it, Tim? Because he's a football player, actually a wide receiver.
He's got the best hands going.
Here comes that aggressive defense that Quinn Snyder loves to use. And Stokes again with the quickness behind the back. And a foul. Let's see it. Is that on Griffin? No, they'll say it's on Williams. Look at the quickness of Wesley Stokes here. When he gets the ball, look at this, Tim, behind the back. Watch this.
Bam.
He gets that from Long Beach, playing in the summer league.
Bill Self's going to want to talk this one over.
Certainly, there's going to be some shifting after tonight with Duke and Stanford taking on one another.
Plus, goodbye, Tennessee. Nice seeing you. Did you have a chance to watch the Jimmy V Classic the other night?
Oh, I was so happy that they decided to rerun the entire speech by Jim Valvano. Gives you a chance to tape it.
Yep. I taped it. My little kids are going to see that when they get a little bit older.
Definitely one that you need to have in the archive. And Paulding with a turnover for the Tigers.
This is a problem for Missouri. When they go to the bench, they get small and they get very young. You've got Gage, who's a football player, 6'5". Stokes is a freshman. Ricky Paulding's a freshman. Very young on the bench.
Over the top to Archibald. He loses control of it, and here come the Tigers. They want to run. Spalding in the open floor. Wow! Man, is he explosive, Tim.
We heard Dickie Vitale talking about Jason Richardson from Michigan State is the best athlete, the best two-guard in America. Ricky Paulding has the same kind of athleticism. He's a 94-foot player, and he does a lot of stuff down the road that's going to end up on SportsCenter.
It was really key earlier in the year when they went up to Alaska, had an excellent game against Valparaiso. Paulding will go to the line. See if he can complete the three-point play. knocks it down. And all of a sudden, the lead is 9.
The number one thing I wanted to see, does Illinois look composed? And the answer is a definitive no.
Bradford will let a 3 go. Remember, that streak is in jeopardy. Sergio McClain with an ill-advised pass, but it went off of the hands of Wesley Stokes. So we're going to stay on this end. Harrington from 3. Side of the backboard. And Lucas Johnson gets the rebound, and he's fouled on the putback.
Darren, Lucas Johnson is quickly becoming one of my favorite players in America to watch. Now, what I see from him, he's got a little bit of Dennis Rodman without the insanity. This guy watches from the bench. He comes in the game and has a clear objective what he needs to get done. He dives on the floor. He takes charges, gets the loose balls, and typically, when he comes in, the team's deficit or lead always goes in the favor of the Illini.
We were talking to Robert Archibald, and wait a minute, incoming now is one of the biggest stories of the year for Quinn Snyder. This is Trayvon Bryant playing in his first collegiate game, a McDonald's All-American, the first McDonald's All-American that Missouri has had since Anthony Peeler, and they are so excited about this young man.
I can promise you this Christmas present won't fit under Quinn Snyder's tree, but he's going to pay some big rewards.
The second free throw is good. Now we've got a break. 22-15. Missouri stunning number 5. We'll be back. American played high school basketball at David Starr Jordan High School, and look at the ups in the mix. You had a chance to see him up close and personal, Tim, right?
I was very impressed, but the biggest thing that jumped out at me is a good kid. He worked very hard, and he immediately makes this Tiger team much better because their bench consists of 6'5" and 6'6" at the power positions. He's 6'9", 240, and he's very skilled. First time we've seen full court pressure.
Alley-oop, a little too high for Arthur Johnson. He looks at him and says, wait a minute, man. You know I'm 270 pounds. I can't get up that high. Come on. But you talk about Trayvon Bryant as Lucas Johnson works, and there's a little bit of the rustiness showing. I talked to the assistant coaches, and they were saying, hey, you know, he's about 15 pounds overweight. Remember, he's only had 1 practice under his belt. He's had 1 shoot-around under his belt. He doesn't really know when he plays, but they say he can play defense.
Clarence Gilbert told me that his MO tonight is to get the big fella a couple touches early and make him feel part of the family.
Another turnover for the Fighting Illini. That will certainly drive a Coach Nutt. I had a chance to talk to Bill Self. He said not only does it make him angry, it makes his dad angry as well. His dad, of course, a longtime high school coach.
Can't make dad mad.
Here's Gilbert. Steps back, in and out. Archibald with the rebound. Bradford the other way. Bradford off the glass. Soyer rips it down.
Without Marcus Griffin in the game, their offense looks disheveled.
And remember, Corey Bradford has yet to hit a three-pointer, and an offensive foul against Wesley Stokes appeared to use his forearm to push off. There you take a look at Griffin.
He's got 2 fouls, setting down Frankie Williams out. Nice defensive slide here by Corey Bradford. And I want to send kudos to the officials because they're allowing a nice flow to go to this game.
Talking about the emphasis on the new rules, we have seen a lot longer college basketball games this year. Here's Lucas Johnson on a little pull-up, front iron, and Soyer again with those strong hands. Brower over to Gilbert, off a screen, into the lane, pull-up from the corner. And McClain has a rebound. Still a 7-point lead for the Tigers. Not anymore. Three-pointer by Cook, and he has 11.
Looks a little bit like Danny Manning.
Rush's shot no good. Out of bounds. Illinois ball. Here comes Griffin back into the game.
Griffin's got 1 foul. Frankie Williams with 2. Good idea. Number 5-2 needs a touch to get him established in the low post.
Bill Self over talking to Ted Hillary. I wonder what they're talking about. Our officiating crew, Ted Hillary, along with Paul Jansen and Bill Kennedy.
The only thing they can do here is that they're trying to get a scoring situation taken care of. I believe they're looking at Brian Cook's. Notice Grauer covering Brian Cook. There's a switch out.
In and out. Here's Grauer on the other end. Rush in the open floor. Offensive foul. The second foul on Kareem Rush.
Kareem Rush changes ends so quickly, and one of the strengths of this Illini team, they don't block shots very well, but they're exceptional at putting their body on the line and taking that hit.
Seems like we have been stuck on 3 for a while now. Williams up to the foul line, and the floater finally drops. So we have a 1-point game once again. Tigers at 1 point up by 9. Holding into the lane, forces one, gets his own rebound and puts it back.
Problem, Illinois is out-rebounded 9 of 10 opponents this year, but so far they've been faulty on their own defensive glass.
And another turnover for the Illini. We got a break of the action. Mizzou by 3. We'll be back. All right, thank you very much, John. Here you take a look at the top 10 of the top 25. Duke and Stanford playing tonight. Tennessee already lost. There's going to be some shift in this. Wake Forest 11 or actually 10-0 now. It's been updated. So there's definitely going to be some teams that have an opportunity to move up.
Wake Forest played very well. ACC's doing a nice job, aren't they? You got to believe that at this point, Quinn Snyder has to like his chances. His 2 big guns, Clarence Gilbert and Kareem Rush, 3 of 11, and they're leading.
Gilbert from way outside knocks down a 3 in the lead, back up to 6. You know, there was some concern about whether Missouri would be tired or not. This is their 3rd game in the last 6 days. But they're not showing any effects of it so far. Nice denial there by Gage.
Plus, they're right in the middle of final exams. Clarence Gilbert is one of America's deepest shooters. He has no conscience. He has no memory. He misses a shot, he's just thinking about the next one.
He's got that in-the-gym range.
He's real close. His buddy from Fort Lauderdale, former Tiger, now with the LA Clippers, Keon Dooling.
Talks to him every day. Here's Cook, another 3. Wow, 14 points so far for Cook.
And he got those big dogs behind the line that time.
Here come the Illini the other way. McLean into the corner. Harrington for 3. And we're tied at 27.
Sense a little momentum shift.
This crowd comes alive. Braggin Rights on the line here in St. Louis. Arthur Johnson with that baby hook.
That's a freshman. Let's keep an eye on this kid, because as a freshman, he's just learning this game, but you make some big plays, you gain confidence, and your stature grows.
McLean, baseline, the reverse. Can't get it to fall. Johnson battling inside, loose ball, and his shoulder touches the baseline. So we'll stay on this end. Quinn Snyder will use this opportunity to get Stokes back into the game.
Soft hands, soft touch. Now take a look at the reaction. He's only a freshman, but he's got the MJ thing going as well.
I don't know about MJ. That was a pretty move, though. And they got Stokes with a holding foul.
I've got to tell you, Missouri fans, they're going to get used to this. Every year, this is going to be a top 20 team, Darren. And we started to see it versus Iowa earlier this week. Clarence Gilbert and Kareem Rush combined for 64 points. They had 10 turnovers and lost the game. Versus Indiana, they only combined for 31 points, but no turnovers and a victory. Quinn Snyder's talking to them about sharing the game. They're doing an excellent job.
McLean hits the front end. Yeah, I guess it basically comes back to team. You know, two guys scoring 64 points, that's not the team doing it collectively.
But Darren, what happens is when you've got two guys doing all the scoring, everybody else gets alienated. They're standing around watching two guys shoot. It's not a lot of fun.
Lucas Johnson checking back in. We were once again tied at 29.
Full court pressure. A tool to get your team a little bit more excited, a little energy going.
Johnny Parker checks in for the Tigers. Parker thinks about the three. Down low, and Johnson couldn't handle the bounce pass. Here's Williams on the break. Pretty pass! Counted, and he's fouled! Cook is putting on the show. He's cooking a dish. Wow.
Now the dish goes to Frankie Williams. Artful delivery, changing speeds. Now he's looking straight ahead, but he knows exactly where his partner is. Frankie Williams loves it because he knows that his team is changing momentum right now, and Frankie Williams is a player that can impact a game at both ends of the court.
Cook has 17 points in the first half. Again with the pressure. The Illini with a three-point lead, and the pressure pays dividends. Harrington knocked away, and they say it's a clean block. There's no way. But Ted Hillary was right there. He says it's a clean block.
Jason Richardson, Ricky Pauly, well, he better get back there because it's his turnover. He takes off from behind.
Oh, wow.
What a play.
How could that not be goaltending, Ted?
You know what? The ball just left his hand. That's a good block, Darren. The ball just left his hand. It wasn't coming down.
I don't know about that.
No. I got to give him that one.
The Illini answer inside nonetheless. 34-29. Now they lead it by 5. Stokes on the other end. Kicks out to Grauer. We're under 5 minutes left to go in the first half. Gilbert over to Stokes. He lets the three go. It's too long. What a momentum shift we've seen.
Don't forget, with Kareem Rush on the bench, they don't have their go-to guy.
Cook again. 19 points in the first half for Brian Cook, and Quinn Snyder calls a timeout.
Williams is there. Corey Bradford, preseason Big Ten Player of the Year. If Brian Cook emerges as a consistent force, Illinois is a Final Four caliber team.
And the key word there is consistent. Last year in the NCAAs, in 2 NCAA games, he had a combined 2 points and 4 rebounds. He struggled earlier this year against Duke at 7 points against Seton Hall, but he has come to play tonight. Seven-point lead for the Illini. At one point, they were down 9.
Diamond press. Got to attack this thing. My philosophy.
Gilbert from the corner, left wide open, couldn't knock it down. Lucas Johnson with the rebound. 4 minutes to go in the first half of this Bragging Rights game. Frankie Williams with a spin move, a tough shot. Grauer was right in his face. Holding from the corner. Air ball. Rebounded by Johnson. And an over-the-back violation or a foul. And it's going to be a Ricky Balding. Tim, what has been the adjustment that Illinois has made that has made the difference in this one?
Bill Self went to his diamond trap. They haven't created a lot of turnovers, but what they've done, they've changed the makeup of this game. Previously, Missouri was coming down, they were running their offense, and they were getting great looks at the basket. The trap has taken them out of that flow, and they're just moving the ball around and taking bad shots. It's a beautiful coaching move by Bill Self.
Cook just scored his 20th point here in the first half. What an incredible story. Points for Brian Cook. 38-29, number 5 back in control.
And drop step into the middle, no help from the Missouri defense. Stepping out with rain. It's not a three, it's a double. And also the recipient of the nice delivery by Frankie Williams.
Brian Cook, the son of Norman Cook. Of course, his dad played for Kansas and the Boston Celtics. His uncle Joe actually played for Duke.
Little zone defense.
So there, Mizzou can answer.
Matching up out of it.
Balding with a pull-up, in and out, kept alive by Soyeye. Johnson keeps it alive with a putback, and a traveling violation. Griffin lost his footing.
Typically, you can fall on the ground, but when you roll over, the referees are forced to call the violation.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, John Saunders will get you up to date. And that big game taking place up in Northern California between Duke and Stanford. Courtyard by Marriott halftime report, Sports Center and game. Also, Dave Odom, his son, by the way, is an assistant coach. Dave Odom and Wake Forest won earlier tonight. They remain unbeaten. John Saunders will get you up to date on all the action happening around the country tonight in college basketball. Baldwin thinks about it. Shot clock down to 12. Brower with a little pull-up, and he knocks it down.
There's Daddy liking the range and the shot and saying, come on, son, shoot it up more.
Yeah, Rich Brower actually used to be an assistant coach at Mizzou, and of course the former head coach of the St. Louis Billikens. Right now he's currently the athletic director at Clayton High School here in St. Louis. Frankie Williams into the lane. Nice defense by Mizzou, and I think they got Archibald with a little reach in.
Bill Self cautioned his ball club during the last time out that Missouri is a team that makes a lot of comebacks.
Oh, wait a minute, Timmy. That foul was on Frank Williams. That's his third foul. So a cheap foul by Frank Williams. And he's going to have to hit the pine. Nice luxury to have to come back with Cook, though. A guy who's tied his career high in the first half of a game.
Marcus Griffin goes to the bench. This is a concern, though, because when Frankie Williams is out, he's their primary ball handler. Harrington and Bradford are okay running the show, but they're no Frankie Williams.
Johnson with a brick. Lucas Johnson chases it down. He had to save it back in, and here come the Tigers. Gilbert into the lane. Nice bounce pass. Soyeye in traffic, and he's fouled.
Get into the paint. Good idea. TJ Soyeye. He's got a body you could be proud of right there. I was talking to him earlier from Lagos, Nigeria. He's friends with the Dream. Hakeem Olajuwon spent some time with him coming off his career high rebounding the ball versus Indiana.
Yeah, you're probably not surprised he leads the team in weightlifting. Only person on the team that can lift 400 pounds.
Plus, he said he's got 4.4 in the 40-yard dash. Those sound like some numbers that would look pretty good at an NFL combine.
That's for sure. Here's Bradford with the ball. We haven't talked about this, but his streak right now is in jeopardy. No three-pointer yet tonight after having 74 straight to set the NCAA record. Down low, Archibald. Kick back over. Lucas Johnson. Tough defense by the Tigers. Nice bounce pass. Cook! Oh, man.
What a catch.
What a game. A new career high for Brian Cook. 23 points. And the lead is now 8. Gilbert again with that pretty bounce pass inside. And a quick foul, a cheap foul. You know, sometimes, Tim, it's the hands that are most important with a big man. And Brian Cook, he just has such soft hands.
I love the delivery by Robert Archibald. He put the ball the only place that A.J. wasn't able to get it. But also, I think that Brian Cook plays his best basketball when Marcus Griffin is on the bench. Brian Cook feels like he should be the man out there, and he's playing with a vengeance down on the block.
There you see the career high 23 points. Came in only averaging 8.3. Arthur Johnson at the line. He only shoots 29% from the free throw line, so it's a little bit of an adventure for him.
And that looked like a 29% free throw.
Lead at 7. Harrington working on Growler. Harrington from 3. Johnson with the rebound. Again, Paulding in transition, and a blocking foul on Lucas Johnson. He's one of the best guys in the nation at taking charges, but I think his foot was sliding here, Tim.
Last week versus Arizona, Lucas Johnson changed the game without scoring any points. At the start of the second half, Illinois did not score for the first 5 minutes. Lucas came in, he took a charge, he made a beautiful pass, grabbed 3 rebounds, got in an altercation with Richard Jefferson, and his team went on a 10-2 run.
And Paulding, who shoots 65%, misses the front end. Mizzou, one of the better free throw shooting teams this year, but not exhibiting it in this game thus far. Down by 7, just over a minute to go. Don't forget, John Saunders will join us at halftime with the Courtyard by Mara at Halftime Report. Get you up to date on that big game taking place up in the Oakland area between Duke and Stanford.
Darren, you see Harrington running the court. Corey Bradford gets all the respect, but Harrington may be their best shooter.
Harrington at one point made 9 threes in a row. They got Soyer again down low, and I believe that's his second.
My man's he's a gold gym graduate. If you got the hammer, you might as well yield it. Now that's a tough call right there. He had good position, full frontal of Robert Archibald. I'm not sure that I would front Archibald though.
Archibald will go to the line. He shoots at 81%. He's a St. Louis boy.
Pretty nice luxury item to have off your bench. Could start for a lot of teams around the country. Only plays 13 or 14 minutes a game, but puts up numbers, 6-7 points a game. Always grabs you 3 or 4 rebounds.
Actually started 20 games last year. People wonder why this bench is so good. So many of the guys that are coming off the bench now were starters last year. He's got a perfect rotation on that free throw. Lead is at 8. A blocking foul on McClain. We talked about it a little bit earlier about how this is the 3rd game for Missouri. If you take another look at the blocking foul, I think that was a good call there, Tim.
Yep.
When we talk about this is the 3rd game in 6 days for Missouri, do you notice any fatigue becoming a factor yet?
What you saw early is the explosion of excitement. Everybody was having a good time. They're all pumped up. The crowd is electric. But after you get 8-10 minutes into this thing, then some of the fatigue starts to come out. These are young players, and they're not used to it. Now, on the other hand, Illinois is used to big games. They're playing Maryland and Arizona, Duke. They're playing Seton Hall. They're a team that's veteran, and they're used to this kind of pace.
Not to mention they've had a little bit more rest. Not only did Missouri have to play those games so tightly wove together, but they had problems with the snow and traveling. Nice
Zone defense
there.
First time we've seen it from Missouri. Quinn doesn't like to run it. Yeah, doesn't want to run a lot of zone, but just like Mike Krzyzewski, he'll throw it in there just to throw a little surprise into the game.
5-second differential between the play clock and the shot clock, and this time I think they got called with a cheap foul. Bill Kennedy called that one. So it was a little elbow. So that will send
freshman Brett Melton.
Yeah, Brett Melton to the line.
This kid can shoot it too.
From the Champaign area. Oh, boy. Way to jinx him, Tim.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about his free throws. I said he's a good shooter. I'm talking about today.
So Balding will go down, and Stokes will check in.
But Darren, I think it's worth revisiting that none of these Illinois players have beaten Missouri. They've gotten off to a pretty good start, and they've got their opportunity.
Terrence Howard checks in, another product of the Peoria area. 20 seconds left to go here in the first half of the Bragging Rights game. John Saunders will be coming up shortly.
Take one shot. Feel pretty good about things with Kareem Rush on the bench a lot of the first half.
Here's Gilbert. He wants to go to work. Archibald got a piece of, oh my goodness! Wow! That was incredible!
He likes the fact that they forced 11 by the Illini, but they're getting pounded on the glass.
There you see the man of the night. All Alcatraz. I love that.
He comes up with that stuff.
Dickie V, baby. Oh, nice pass in the back door there. Williams just kind of looped around, and Brower lost track of him.
Well, we saw that at shoot-around today. They started the second half versus Arizona with the same play. Got to find a way to get Kareem Rush going. Non-factor in the second half, or in the first half, because of 2 fouls.
If you look at the score and see Missouri down, don't worry. They're used to being down. Look at the comebacks that they've had this season. They came back from 14 to beat Rhode Island up in Alaska, and a couple of 10-point deficits they come back to win. Frankie Williams from the corner, and there you see Johnson using his body to get the rebound. Brower's pass nearly stolen away. Here's Rush. He only had 4 points in the first half. Brower with a little fake. Rush into the lane. The left-handed shot just rolls off, but Soyeye chips out the rebound to himself. Hook shot in traffic, and I think they got Griffin. Yeah, that's his third.
TJ was demanding the ball on the low post. The perimeter guys refused to give it to him, so he went ahead manly to the offensive glass and said, forget that, I'm going to take it myself.
I stand corrected, Tim. That's actually the second foul on Marcus Griffin. Nonetheless, Soyeye at the line. All that power, and then you see touch like that.
I think new Missouri football coach Gary Pinkel, who's come from Toledo, is taking a look at this kid, looking at the gun, saying, you know, I've got visions of TJ cutting across the middle as a tight end for me.
He would make a great tight end. 3 points tonight for Soyeye. Lead down to 6. Here's Cook. Now Johnson coming out on him. And 33 in the black gets the foul. Soyeye
Referees are really blowing it close in the middle this year. Big fellas have to know that if they're banging, they can't use their hands. Good rule of thumb, let the referee see the back of your hands. That shows you that you're not using the hands, and TJ's going to have to sit down with his buddies over on the bench. That really hurts this team.
Here's Bradford for three. Still hasn't hit the 75th game in a row with a three. Rebound inside, and how about Sergio? Just 6'4", and able to go in there and battle with the big boys.
Yeah, talking about some guys with football bodies.
Gilbert, unconscious. He's got 13. Again, down low hook, and that's just too easy. It doesn't look like Gage can handle him under there.
I think we'll see Trayvon Bryant. He brings his size.
On cue, Trayvon going to the table. Rush, spinning. Good defense. Gilbert, quick release, knocks it down. Wow, he didn't even have his feet set. He has 16. He exploded last year, Tim, in this very game. Bradford going on the baseline, and they'll get Rush. And that'll be his third foul. Tim, how about the fact that Corey Bradford has yet to score?
Not only that, he has no defensive presence. He's got 3 turnovers, and I think that streak is getting inside his head.
Griffin in the lane. Lead back up to 6. Offensive foul. So Corey Bradford doing it on the defensive end.
You see, that's what you have to do as a smart player, as a veteran, as a leader. If your J's not falling for you, you've got to find other ways to help your team. Watch the bottom left part of your screen. That's a moving screen by Trayvon Bryant. A little bit of an acting job, but Ted Hillary is right there. And
remember, Tim, yesterday was his first day of practice. He had 1 practice, and he had a shoot-around this morning, so that's the extent of his experience.
With 3 fouls on Kareem Rush, I think Illinois should try to get the ball to Sergio, and that's a tough call.
Yeah, Paul Jansen going to call it on Brian Brower, so he picks up his 2nd foul.
Let's take a look. You're moving your feet. Good position. Well, how can that be a foul?
Yeah, that's a pretty tough call.
I mean, Quinn Snyder will get a foul on that one.
I have to give it to Quinn Snyder. He's pretty collected over there. McLean one-on-one with Rush. Traveling. Jump ball, actually. Possession arrow.
You know, I love
Missouri's
the recognition.
ball.
The recognition is great here because Sergio's a senior. Kareem Rush has 3 fouls.
Stolen quickly back by Williams. Knocked out of bounds. And it's off of Illinois, so Missouri will get the ball back. But Frank Williams, he only has 4 points tonight, but doing it with defense. And now they'll get Trayvon Bryant out of there. Come back with Gage. Tony Harvey over there doing some coaching, the assistant coach for Quinn Snyder. Brower wants to go to work on Harrington, and ooh, Sergio came down really hard. Sergio McLean. The foul will be charged to Harrington. Well, McLean had really tweaked his hamstring in the Arizona game, and it looks like he's going to go to the bench. And didn't see where exactly he landed, but you heard the thump.
I felt the thumb. Sergio goes about 225, built like a linebacker. Lucas Johnson comes in. You're trading defense for more defense. Now, notice on the elevation, left his feet, bam. Wow, it looked like he landed his arm.
It looked like, Grauer's leg came underneath and clotheslined him a little bit. Rush from 3, front iron. Griffin with another rebound. Bradford has yet to knock down a three-pointer in this game. Remember, he's got that streak going, and we've got another cheap foul. And that one's going to be on Gage.
If you want to talk about mismatches, though, Cook is 6'10". He's athletic. He's a leaper. Justin Gage is a football player. He's a walk-on. He's 6'5". And I'm going to tell you this. If they're going to call that foul, Justin Gage cannot cover Brian Cook.
Tough assignment. But you can't put Justin Gage on Griffin. Gage, of course, the wide receiver for the Tigers, actually led them in receiving this year. And if you look at Cook, he wants to go. He's tasted it. Now down low. Griffin smacked away by Johnson. Here's Rush into the lane. Oh, wow. Nice slash. Lead down to 4. Harrington thinks about it. Here's Griffin again. Spinning again.
Studly effort. Great footwork. Good catch, recognition, drop step, power conversion.
Gilbert from 3. Kept alive by Grauer. Saved inside. Johnson couldn't handle the pass. And Lucas Johnson throws it the other way. And here come the Tigers. Grauer. Baseline, and now he'll pull it out and reset the offense. Rush off a screen, spinning, baseline, kicked over, Gilbert for 3. Lead is down to 3. And the fans come to their feet. Lucas Johnson. How about the presence of mind to realize who he was on?
That's a big bucket because the Illini are in the middle of a major scoring drought, and they're going to try to get Frankie Williams, their point guard, back in the game.
Rush wants a 3. Front iron and Griffin again. Vacuums in the rebound. Bradford goes all the way, and he draws a foul, and they'll charge it to Grauer. That'll be his 3rd.
As you watch Corey Bradford, throughout most of the streak, 74 straight games with a 3, he was just playing, having fun, part of the attack. But as the numbers started to mount, he went from being the hunter to the hunted. And as the Big Ten preseason player of the year, every single scouting report focuses firmly on him.
Bradford with his first points tonight.
Now, since we're in St. Louis, you remember how Mark McGuire talked so much about how when he was chasing the home run streak that the pressure just really got to him as things went on. You wonder if Corey Bradford feels the same kind of heat.
It's really strange, but he was able to get the record, so you would think a little pressure would come off. Misses the second free throw, and now he picks up a cheap foul.
To be fair to Corey, he also had preseason knee surgery. That's got to be a factor as well.
Got a break in the action. Clarence and the Seahawks coming up. We're going to get things started at 7:30 with NFL Tonight, the game to follow at 8:30. And then on ABC's Monday Night Football, it's the Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans. The Titans could win home field advantage throughout the playoffs with a win or a tie over Dallas. Of course, Dennis Miller, one of my favorite announcers, one of the most interesting announcers in the business.
There you go.
On Monday Night Football.
I've got to believe that Tennessee is going to win it all this year, Darren.
How about your Lions, man? What a season for them.
Yep, they've got to beat the Bears. they can knock St. Louis out. I'll tell you what, the fans around here are heated about the Rams' loss this last weekend.
Yeah, it's the buzz of the town. Stokes controlling now. Rush, baseline spin. Double team down there. Stokes left wide open and knocks down the three. His first 3 points of the game. Cuts the lead to 3. Stokes coming off his career high of 11 against Indiana. And back comes Paulding. He'll give Rush a breather. Missouri starting to heat up from outside. At halftime, they were really struggling, but check out the stat in the second half. Meanwhile, the Bradford watch is still on. Frankie Williams spinning. Stolen away by the quick hands of Wesley Stokes. Up for the layup. Count it, and the foul! Tim, just like the Indiana game, Stokes ignites this team.
He had 11 points. Now, look and see if there's a double dribble. He loses the handle, but he picks it up wisely with the other hand. Flamboyant hair, flamboyant game. I'll tell you what, that can't be the most aerodynamic dude that I've seen, but it's a good look for him.
Well, he hears everything. They call him Chia Pet, Hairball. I asked him about it today. He said, hey, man, he used to actually have it braided up like Allen Iverson, and he took the braids out, and he really liked the look, so he went with it.
See, now he's all jacked up, too. He got the three. Now he wants to pressure full court.
Jimmy, we are tied at 56 in this game. Missouri at 1 point down 9.
When in doubt, get a post touch.
Griffin, backspin, up strong. Beautiful defense by Soyeye. Here comes Gilbert, the alley-oop. Paulding knocked out of his hands. What a defensive play. Here's Stokes. Soyeye in traffic, and he's fouled. Charge it to Cook. And they say he got him with the body. That's his second foul. Cook had 23 points at halftime, but just 2 points here in the second half.
Yeah, he's a worker down there. Job description is just bang, get rebounds, defend, but they threw the dog a bone.
We have a timeout on the floor. Gives us a chance to talk about, Tim, what
difficult games in a row. This is a big emotional rivalry game. And then to travel right before Christmas down to Texas against a very good team, it's going to be a tough one to win.
So now it's Soyeye at the free throw line with a chance to give Missouri its first lead since the 6:13 mark. And he does it.
For a man that's so big and strong, he does have a very nice touch from the foul line, mid-80s. From Lagos, Nigeria.
Remember, there's not one player on the Illini team that has ever beaten Missouri. We heard Brian Grauer at the top of the show talking about how he wants to sweep away the Illini.
Darren, they're doing this without Kareem Rush making much of a contribution either.
Nice pass inside. Soyeye with a foul. And how about Harrington that time having the presence of mind to get Soyeye up in the air?
Yeah, that's a good idea. You better get him up in the air. Illinois is one of the premier interior passes that I've seen this season. TJ Soyeye must stay on the floor out of foul trouble. It's his fourth foul.
So you call him TJ. You don't call him Tajideen? You're that friendly with him, huh?
Hey, if Flynn calls him TJ, I go by that. They're going to whistle Stokes on that
foul. Now they correct the call, and they say it's on Wesley Stokes.
W.
All right. So Harrington hits 1 of 2.
Hey, remember in the first half, they went to this diamond trap to try to speed up the tempo and take Missouri out of the offense. People works this time.
Really impressed with their patience tonight. They have not been rattled.
It's his own defense. 3-2.
Here's Stokes surveying the zone. They work the perimeter. Only clock down to 2. Stokes. And Gage gets the rebound. Kick back out. Gilbert from way downtown. In and out. And Cook comes up with a big rebound.
I know Clarence has range, but he may want to reevaluate that shot.
So a foul inside, and I think that's on Gage. Kareem Rush coming back in along with Arthur Johnson. Sawyer will check out with Gilbert.
Kind of a nice story. Sergio McClain on the line. A lot of kids on this team from Peoria, Illinois. Tell them about it.
They call them the Three Amigos, the Peoria Posse, and they all live together. But they won. Sergio McClain won 4 state titles, consecutive state titles. His dad, Wayne McClain, was his coach at Peoria Manual High School. And he, Marcus Griffin, Frankie Williams, they all lived together, very close. Jerence Howard, who is from their rival school, Peoria High School, he also lives with them. Frank Williams from outside. And another big rebound inside, and they got Gage over the back. I tell you, Griffin hasn't had a lot of points tonight, but Griffin has been a monster on the board. The Tigers are scrambling, and we're tied at 58. The hot man in the first half, but it's been Gilbert in the second half. 19 points. He's really heated up from 3. And you see Missouri also just shooting the ball well from outside, Tim.
And this story illustrates the strength of both teams. Missouri likes it from outside. Illinois is making a huge mistake if they don't get post touch from Marcus Griffin and Brian Cook. Missouri is too small to deal with them.
Here's Griffin inside. His little baby hook is no good.
That looked like a play that Marcus Griffin, if he wanted to, might have just been able to hammer that one down rather than use the finesse.
Good point.
Matchup zone again.
Here's Rush, quick release. Got it.
Don't want to get him going. Kareem Rush is a prolific scorer when he gets going.
He's got 9. Harrington down low. Here's McClain spinning on Rush, trying to get a, and he was trying to draw that foul, and he does.
Kareem Rush has been silent. He's been silent in the first half. He's been silent in the second. He comes off the double screen, and Marcus Griffin was late on the contest. At the other end, you've got to make the scorer work on the defensive end. Almost a hook on Sergio McClain.
Almost.
That's called the chicken wing right there.
Yeah, with a little extra hot sauce. And it's going to be interesting. There's plenty of time, and Quinn Snyder has to take him out. He's going to go back with Gilbert. And now he's doing a little coaching, explaining to him defensively what you have to do in that situation. McClain's second free throw stolen away by Stokes. Cook had the rebound. Down low, Gage, and he draws a foul. I'll tell you what, Griffin got his money's worth on that one.
Justin Gage is going to be a pro ball player possibly, and I'm not talking NBA. He may be an NFL player as a high school kid, played quarterback, made the switch this year. His first year as a receiver, he was their top receiver. He's got 2 more years of eligibility, and if you look at the speed, the size, he's a prototype.
How about that Duke score? I mean, I guess they are truly #1. They're flexing their muscle on Stanford.
Truly #1. You don't like Michigan State?
I like Michigan State, but I think Duke's tough. Their starting five, I think, is the best in the country. But I do like Michigan State. Tigers with a 3-point lead. Stolen away again. Stokes for the layup. Doesn't get it. Gaines with the putback, and he gets fouled.
Wait a minute.
They
called a foul at the other end. Holding foul before the play began. It's on Sergio McClain.
Sergio McClain, so all that action for naught.
Now, notice the takedown WWF style slam.
Wow.
Turns out to be a pretty good foul.
Yeah. Saves a basket, although Wesley Stokes missed the bucket. That's Sergio McClain's third foul. So now the foul's starting to build up here as we come down the stretch.
Okay, is that a half Nelson or full Nelson?
I don't know.
I've got to bone up on my moves a little bit. Darren, do you think that the Missouri team is going to be demoralized, that they've got 10 minutes to go in this game and their best player is saddled with 4 fouls?
But rush tonight has not been the biggest factor. Gilbert has been more effective, especially scoring.
Once again, we have another scoring issue. The referees taking a look at last sequence. Paul Jansen, Ted Hillary checking out things.
Now, where's their little hood? Aren't they supposed to have a little hood there? And we're supposed to be counting things. Guy that's going to take the free throws.
Exactly. I wanted to make sure that's where the takedown went. Paulding was saying, oh, yeah, it was me. I can show you the bumps and bruises.
Lynn Snyder, look at that. Eye of the tiger, huh?
Today at shoot-around, Quinn Snyder put on the best shoot-around practice that I have ever seen. And talk about intensity.
He works on every aspect of a post-up move and how to defend it. Paulding gets his own miss. Tap back out. I believe it was Soyeye who got a hand on it. Just over 10 minutes left. 4-point lead for the Tigers against number 5 in the country. Here's Paulding from 3. Soyeye again with the rebound. Ball loose on the ground, and Soyeye again comes up with it. The Tigers are out hustling the Illini.
Every loose ball the Tigers are coming up with.
Parker with a high screen. Stokes behind his back. Sweet pass. Soyeye shot blocked. Loose ball, and Lucas Johnson comes away with it. Fantastic defense on that series by the Illini.
Where's Brian Cook?
McClain, Gilbert on him. Williams, the fake, the free throw line jumper, nothing but net. Lead down to 2. Just under 9 minutes to go. Gilbert between the legs. Paulding, pull up. Rattles off. Bradford with the rebound. Cook lets the 3 go.
That's a foul.
And Stokes with a good box out.
Yeah, that's another W.
Do they call that on Stokes?
That looked like Parker. I thought Parker did the WWF. Hey, we're seeing some takedowns here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see somebody throw a chair on the court. Look at the bottom of your screen. You see he's got Lucas Johnson slam down.
Yeah, that was Parker. He grabbed him around the waist.
Getting a little physical.
I know, man. I've been indicting our guy Wesley Stokes all night, huh?
Take it easy on my man.
I know. Lucas Johnson from the line. Rolls off. Mass substitutions coming in. Archibald and Griffin back in for the Illini. Arthur Johnson checking back in also with Brower.
I was talking earlier about how Lucas Johnson is wild out there. Bill Self said I like having this guy on my team, but I can promise you one thing. I wouldn't want two Lucas Johnsons.
So 1 of 2 for Lucas Johnson. Missouri by 1 in this Braggin Rights game. Holding into the lane. Offensive foul. Nice play by Archibald. And here comes Stokes back into the game. Holding will get a breather. So now Missouri will go with that 3-guard lineup. Brower, Stokes, and Gilbert, along with Sawyer and Johnson down low.
Once again, important to note, Corey Bradford, 74 straight games with a 3, does not have the triple tonight.
Foul underneath, and Griffin bangs that knee, and again we see him limp. About a minute into the game, he was also limping. So Griffin picks up, I believe, his 4th foul.
Last season, Marcus Griffin missed a lot of time with some knee surgery, and he stuck that left knee out. Yeah, he might feel that tomorrow, and he's going to have to sit down for a couple minutes.
So Griffin will sit. Stokes to the line. He shoots 67%, misses the front end. 1-point game. Here's Williams. Stokes on him. Bradford from 3. Got it! Go! 75 straight games with a 3. Johnson. Gilbert, quick release. Can't answer. Here's Frank Williams ahead to Archibald. Blocked away by Johnson. Gilbert racing through the lane. The floater, no good. And Cook goes up way high.
Strong resistance by Brian Cook. Very impressive. He contested, and then he collected the rebound.
He did a lot in the scoring department in the first half. Nice backdoor pass to Williams. Inside, Archibald. He dribbled, and we're going to get a foul. I believe it's on Arthur Johnson.
Quinn Snyder's team overplays so much. Now, if there's an overplay, you've got to have the back cut right there. That's the way you're able to relieve pressure. Very unselfish inside. Called Robert Archibald a luxury item, because to have a kid of his caliber coming off your bench, putting up numbers, is a nice thing to have.
Tim, they called that foul on Sawyer, and Quinn Snyder is beside himself. He said Arthur Johnson clearly fouled Robert Archibald, and he's calling for a replay. I don't know if he has one of those little bean bags.
Throw it out there.
He's looking for something.
You can't afford to give up those timeouts.
And Arthur Johnson only has 1 foul on him, so... And Rush will come back with 4 fouls. Stokes will go out.
And let's see if Illinois immediately tries to attack Kareem Rush and get their #1 scoring threat out of there. Let's point out, Kareem Rush at this point is the early season candidate to be the best player in the Big 12.
Archibald misses the second one, but the Illini have retaken the lead, up by 3 now. Rush wants to answer and does, but that's a 2. That's not a 3. So they're still down 1. Frank Williams working on Gilbert. His pull-up kept alive by Archibald. Here's Johnson holding it strong, and they're going to call it on Archibald. Johnson, who really struggles from the free throw line, doesn't get the bounce. Lucas Johnson all over the floor. Look at him scramble. And a jump ball. And wait a minute. I think a fight is broken out. Some elbows were flying inside, and Gilbert went in to protect his teammate. And you can see how genuine this rivalry is. These teams really do not like each other. 1-point lead for number 5 in the Braggin Rights.
It's 9 now.
Thank you very much, John Saunders. We've got a much tighter game here in St. Louis. How about the hustle on that last play?
First thing I notice is the passion. Count the bodies, not afraid to get intimate with the floor. And then the extracurricular activity. What they're talking about, the guys, is, look, we played a great game. Everybody's excited. Let's make sure we stick with the fundamental basketball.
Let's make sure we finish it out with some class.
Last possession, Darren. Missouri got an isolation for Kareem Rush. He's got 4 fouls. They're going to want to try to get him the ball and let him play with it.
Here's Rush on cue. Down low to Johnson. He runs through the lane. Johnson again going to try that baby hook. Rolls off, and Cook with a big rebound. His 8th rebound tonight. Starts the ball. Out to Cook. Now McClain drives into the lane, and Arthur Johnson steps in there with his 270 pounds. McClain over to Cook. Bradford from the corner for 3. Flanks off the rim, but Cook digs out the rebound. His 9th. Williams into the lane. Out of bounds. Missouri ball.
I'm a big believer that when a man is playing his offensive game to perfection, you've got to get him shots. Brian Cook has 25 points in the second half. He is not looking for his shot. That last possession alone, he passed up 2 prime opportunities to get himself some offense.
It's kind of a microcosm of what we were talking about with him throughout the season. 7 points against Seton Hall. Didn't score against Duke. Well, in the first half tonight, he had a career-high 23, but just 2 points since then. Rush from the corner. Johnson gets the rebound. Stolen away. Now they scramble once again. And a jump ball. Possession arrow favoring the Fighting Illini. Rush tried to call a quick timeout.
Earlier, the referees were so quick to make sure there was no fighting, no elbows, no dirty stuff. Now watch, he tried to get the timeout, but the ball was already tied up.
It looked like Griffin's shoulder might have been on the baseline. The Illini might have gotten away with one there. What a game. Rebounded inside by Soyeye, who's playing with 4 fouls. Over to Gilbert. Quick release. In and out. And Cook with his 10th rebound tonight.
What I'm seeing here, these players have exerted so much energy because of the emotion. It's going to be very difficult to knock down perimeter shots.
And they've got Rush, and he's done for the night. A cheap reach-in foul will end his evening. 11 points, 5 fouls. So you're Quinn Snyder. Let's take another look at the foul, Tim.
And it's a poor decision. You're gambling. You're trying to make the big play. Against Sergio McClain, he's not going to hurt you if you play ball-man position defense.
Don't forget, coming up, following our game here on ESPN, it's SportsCenter. John Anderson and Bill Pito will tell you all about that Duke-Stanford game. Also, Showtime invades Houston, the Lakers and Rockets, and we'll have the question of tonight, playoff hopefuls in the NFL. All coming up following our game on SportsCenter. So McClain goes to the line here in this Braggin Rights game. His team up by 1. Gives him a little breathing room.
No surprise that the Peoria triples are in there together. Frankie Williams, McClain, and Marcus Griffin have been playing basketball together since they were 10 years old. They're the best defenders, and they're very strong down the finish.
So the 60% free throw shooter knocks in both. Lead up to 3. Fans come to their feet.
You like this game, partner?
Worth the price of admission.
This is big fun.
Gilbert down to Soyer. Here's Stokes into the lane. That floater knocked back in by Johnson. Illini by 1. Under 4 to go. Cook the pull-up. In and out. Stokes has it now. And the Tigers can take the lead.
Soyer wants it.
Gilbert, the fake. Tried to use the bank shot. Out of bounds. And they'll say jump ball because nobody knows. And we got a break in the action. The Tigers are tipped tighter there. Very, very tight here in St. Louis in the Braggin Rights game between Missouri and Illinois. And now fouls becoming a real factor.
Key thing to remember, these players are not just playing for tonight, Darren. They're playing for the rest of their life. The foul trouble is significant on both teams. That's why it's very important to drive the ball to the basket. And I want to revisit a comment that was made to me before the game by Marcus Griffin and Sergio McClain, the 2 seniors on this team. There you see Kareem Rush. He's sitting out. He's done for the night. Both of those players said that this season they played #1 Duke and #1 Arizona. This game is of much more significance to them than that one.
In fact, I was on the internet checking chat rooms, and there are a lot of Illini alum and fans from around the country that say if Illinois wins the national championship, it doesn't win this game, that it still wouldn't be that good of a season. I asked Bill Self about that. He said, he'll take that.
Matchup to watch, Clarence Gilbert, Frankie Williams.
Here's Stokes. Stokes thinks about that 3. Shot clock inching its way down to 10. Stokes into the lane. Tough pull-up shot. Rebounded inside Johnson. The freshman is growing up in St. Louis. Missouri leads #5 by 1. Griffin double team, kick back out Williams. Now he'll take the 3. Air ball. McClain with the rebound, and they've got a foul on the Tigers.
Here's the trend. These teams are tired. Their shots are not falling, but we're seeing a lot of stellar work on the offensive end. These guys are going to the boards hard, and it's a pretty good strategy. You know, when you see the shots going up, if you get the best position, you clear a space for yourself, you've got a chance to do some good things down the stretch here.
McClain is such a veteran. He really knows how to wheel and deal down there. But he misses the front end of some very critical free throws. We take a look at the reset. Missouri and Illinois both with 160, 230s apiece. Both teams in the bonus. The Illini have the possession arrow.
These teams look tired, don't they?
They certainly do.
They could be tired tomorrow.
And here come the fans to provide a little help. Stokes, baseline, and a foul on McClain.
Even though Illinois is the veteran team, you have to believe that Missouri has a lot of confidence. Within the last week, they went to double overtime at Iowa and lost a very disappointing game. And then earlier this week, they beat Indiana on their court in another close game. This squad is growing up right before our eyes.
And this guy has been such a significant part of their last 2 games. Don't forget, SportsCenter coming up shortly. The judge, Bill Pito and John Anderson, standing by. Stokes misses the front end. Mizzou once again with a 1-point lead. Williams brings it across. Number 5. Down low, Griffin, and a smart foul by Gilbert. Because Griffin had clear sail and he had... Let's check in with John Saunders for a quick update. John?
Well, Stanford has been down by as much as 15, and this next pass is not going to look good. With Collins twins hooking up, Jason to Jaron. He gets tipped, comes right to him, lays it off the glass. Stanford within 1.
Wow. How exciting is that?
2 big games. Only 2 points separate. And that was a great foul because Marcus Griffin is a 50-50 guy. He shoots 50% from the field and 50% from the line. In a tight game like this, you got to believe the free throw percentage may even be lower than that.
This one to tie it. And he can't get it to fall. And a foul on Cook. That's his 3rd. This would be a huge upset.
I think we may see some black-shirted fans running on the court celebrating this thing. And if this becomes a trip to the free throw line, Missouri very solid as a team, 73%. Illinois suspect.
And Stoyaye flanks the back of the iron. And back comes Gage. Johnson will get a breather.
Earlier today, Darren, we were talking about who do you think is the go-to guy for the Illini? Because that becomes very important.
Who do you go to at this point in the game, Tim?
That's a concern because most good teams have one good guy that they put on the back. I would say it's Frankie Williams, but he has had a very average performance.
Here's Bradford. And he is really struggling in this game. He's done it in other ways with defense, but offensively, this is not the Corey Bradford that we've seen in past years.
Strategy. Under 2 minutes, you've got a 2-point lead. Your best scorer's on the bench. I think you take your time and milk the clock. Make Illinois defend you.
Gilbert bouncing out. Here comes a double team. Now they work it over to Stokes. Stokes from the free throw line. Air ball. But Gage gets the rebound. Stolen back. Loose ball in the corner. Behind the back to Gilbert. Here's Stokes for 3. And Griffin with a big rebound. Williams up and under. Oh, that was so pretty. Tied at 70. Timeout called by Missouri. What a terrific game, Tim.
There was nothing there until we went the other way with it.
Here's our reset. Missouri out of 60-second timeout with 2:30. The Illini with 1 of their 60s left and both of their 30s. SportsCenter following us here on ESPN. Bill Pito and John Anderson.
Very important. Understand clock and score. We're approaching 1 minute. You've got a chance to get 2 possessions if you're Missouri, if you run the clock down.
Gilbert, the pull-up. Oh, ice water. Mizzou by 2, under a minute to go. Number 5 in trouble. Stokes hustles. reversals. McLean chases it down. And a quick timeout called by Bill Self.
That's got to be a foul on Stokes. He completely cut the legs out from Frank. Is when they get a couple ball reversals, get a post touch, and then they go inside. They've got the possession arrow. They're down 2. You put the ball in Frankie Williams' hands and let him try to take Stokes off the dribble.
Let's see if they do it. Both teams have 2 30s. And as you mentioned, the fight in the Illini with that possession arrow. Number 5 in jeopardy. With a win today, they could move up. And how about this stretch for Mizzou? A win today, and they would beat Indiana and Illinois back-to-back.
Little 3-game Big Ten roadie.
Here is Frank Williams. He wants to take Stokes to pull up, in and out, and back in. We are tied at 72. 1 second differential between play clock and game clock.
You've got to believe they're going to spread it out. I've got to believe that Quinn's going to want to talk about it.
Stokes now at 5'11" with McLean on him at 6'4".
Watch Gilbert, number 4, black and gold.
Brower from 3. Front iron. Soyeye with the rebound. Knocked away by Frankie Williams, and a quick timeout for the Illini. With 4.5 seconds. Look at Quinn here.
You've got to hold on, guys. Too early. Run the offense. Get it to Clarence.
Oh man. You know, Soyeye got that rebound, but how about Williams? The last 2 baskets and a great defensive play to knock the ball out of Soyeye's hand.
Set play. Frankie Williams is going to have it in his hands. Keep an eye on Bradford.
They double team Williams. Here's Lucas Johnson. He better get it off, and he doesn't get it off in time, and we're headed to overtime. Wow. So many people who went to either Illinois and Missouri, they work in offices together, and they want to be able to go in and say, ha-ha, we got you this year.
I like the fact that we promised that we would put a nice big red ribbon and bow on this game for all of our fans out there.
Hey, we told you it was an early Christmas gift.
It's been a lot of fun. What I'm looking at here are 2 teams that are wiped out. They're dead tired, big emotional game. Offensively, a couple of 60-watt bulbs going at each other. But I want to watch the offensive rebounding. I don't expect a lot of good shooting from the perimeter because we've got tired legs.
The 3rd overtime in 3 games for Missouri. Bill Kennedy wants to make sure that Gilbert's not getting an advantage in there with Frank Williams and McLean. And Illinois control. Frank Williams again getting aggressive. He's feeling it on Stokes. He's got the size advantage, and he feels real confident he can get off this shot against Wesley Stokes. Oh, so traveling against Gilbert, it looked like it was knocked out of his hands.
It was, but if he would have allowed the ball to hit the floor, he could have picked it up and advanced it by coming down with it. Clearly a travel up and down.
Cook down low. Griffin. He used his body so well. Just sealed off, and the lane was wide open. So number 5 up by 4. But Mizzou has been here before. Gilbert strong to the lane. And 1! Let's quickly check in with John Saunders. John?
Guys, what a finish. Number 3 against number 1. 7 seconds remaining. Casey Jacobson. Tough shot over 2 Dukies. Knocks it down. But then Jason Williams off to the races. Takes it right back to the rack for the win. It rolls out. The putback is too late. And Stanford has knocked off number 1, 84-83.
Wow.
I'm impressed. I did not think that Stanford had the athleticism on the wings to deal with the pressure defense. That shows me a lot.
Congratulations to Mike Montgomery and the Cardinals. And Griffin has fouled out of the game on that play, so he's done. Cook gets a rebound. And Mizzou is within 2.
I guess that makes the Michigan State Spartans the #1 team in the land.
How about the fact that both of the leading scorers for each respective team is now fouled out. Backdoor. McClain goes strong. And Paulding with a foul, and I believe that's his 5th. So now at what point do you go back to Trayvon Bryant?
Let's take a look here. Overplaying, pressure defense. Ricky Paulding's a freshman going up against an experienced senior. And when you get tired, it's easy to make the mental mistakes. Ricky Paulding is gone. Kareem is gone. Marcus Griffin's gone. And I think before this is over, we're going to see a couple more guys exit.
And this really, they've got Clarence Gilbert, Brian Grauer, and Stokes. And Grauer and Stokes are barely at 5'11". Playing with 10 points tonight.
That didn't look like a 60% foul shooter.
No.
Nice arc.
Just like Dad taught him. Lead now at 3. So 4-point lead for #5 over Missouri. The bragging rights on the line. Stokes over to Grauer. Who's the go-to guy here, Tim?
Clarence Gilbert.
Here he is. Gilbert from 3. Grauer with the weak side rebound, and he gets fouled.
Now, Brian Cook is laying on top of Clarence Gilbert. It's got to be a little bit of contact, and there's about 15 guys right behind Ted Illini that are willing to give their opinion. Set play, weak side, on the contest.
Timeout on the floor. 4-point lead for #5. But
What we're seeing is a lot more half-court basketball. Frank Williams has carte blanche with the ball. He can take his man whenever he wants. And in a conversation yesterday with Bill Self, I said, who's the leader on the squad for you? He said, without question, even though he's a silent kid, Frankie Williams is the guy that everybody on this team follows. And in a close game, Frankie Williams always wants the ball.
And in fairness to Lon Kruger, this process of getting Williams to this point actually began last year. He and Lon Kruger butted heads a couple of times, but Frank Williams said it really helped him. And he says he was kind of disappointed that Lon Kruger wasn't here to see the new Frank Williams as we take a look at the reset. Both teams with 2 30-second timeouts apiece. Possession arrow favoring Mizzou.
Lon Kruger definitely deserves a lot of credit for this team.
Bill Pito, John Anderson standing by. Going to have to work a little overtime tonight because of our game. Gilbert into the lane. Over to Johnson. Short jump shot. Nothing but net. Lead down to 2. The Tigers are not going away.
Drop it to Cook. Get it in there.
Cook posted up. McClain pushed off and got away with it and knocks down the jump shot. No whistle, no foul.
No autopsy, no foul.
Lead back up to 4. 2.5 left in the Braggin Rights game.
You know, Quinn said something interesting. In tough situations, he wants Clarence Gilbert to be able to...
5-second violation.
See, that was passive. Clarence Gilbert allowed the double team to converge. He's got to get the ball to an open man. If he gets it out of the double, they're playing advantage basketball.
Now Missouri's going to have to do it on the defensive end. Williams wants to go to work again on Wesley Stokes. Tough shot, and it goes!
This kid's lethal. Watch the way that he can change speeds. Now, I'm not saying he lost the ball on his hip to throw off Stokes, but Isaiah Thomas, another tough Chicago kid, had the ability to change speeds, to be able to get to the lane anytime he wants, and I see a lot of similarities.
He completes the three-point play, and Frank Williams is carrying the Illini here in overtime. Stokes baseline, goaltending by Archibald. So it's still a 5-point game, plenty of time left. Let's see. Tim, is this on the way down?
I think that's a good call, and it's a tough matchup for Sergio McClain. Playing a little point power forward against Stokes.
And again, it's Williams. This time he's got Brower on him, and Williams misses it. Sawyer with the rebound.
You better find Gilbert.
Gilbert over to Johnson. Through the lane, spin. Traveling.
Arthur Johnson tried to do his best Baryshnikov imitation, but my man's 270.
Sports Center following our game here on ESPN. I'll tell you about Stanford's stunning win in the Pete Newell Classic. They knocked off #1 Duke. Cook can't get it to fall. Here comes Stokes. Pulls up. Can't get it to fall. They're running out of time, Tim. Williams takes it the distance and a foul. Kareem Rush wondering if he was still out there, probably saying, hey, I might have been able to do something about it, but got into foul trouble and fouled out before we even went to overtime. Timeout on the floor. Number 5. Michigan State now your new #1.
Without question. You know, if you're talking about the Big Ten race, Illinois has a big advantage over the Spartans because this year the Spartans play at Champaign, but Illinois does not have to go up to Breslin.
You see the Illini, 2 30-second timeouts. Even without Bradford making a significant contribution, the Illini still able to do it tonight. All because of this young man, Frank Williams. Still plenty of time though. Williams, second free throw. Knocks it down, so the lead now up to 6. Here's Gilbert. Blocked.
Well, Frankie Williams is winning this game at both ends of the court.
He came alive. He came alive down the stretch. He was patient throughout the first half. Don't forget, SportsCenter's following us here on ESPN. Kareem Rush wondering what could have been if he would have still been in the game. And there you see Brian Brower. We opened our game tonight with him talking about getting a sweep, but it does not look like it's going to happen. And one of the things that Quinn Snyder, I'd imagine, is going to talk about is the poor free throw shooting tonight by the Tigers. Sawyer will come out. Gage in. 40 seconds left. And Bradford putting the final nails into the coffin. Brower still trying to keep Missouri around.
And that shot is no surprise. Bryant
standing by in the studio. We're making them wait up a little longer.
I'm not sure that Illinois is going to be able to go in and beat Texas.
It's going to be tough. He'll certainly be worn down.
And how good would Texas be if Chris Mihm would have come back for his senior year? Has not played much for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And first things first, though, let's take care of this battle right now and get the W if you're Illinois.
Really a turnover. Here's Harrington. Somebody's got to foul somebody. Great ball movement by Illinois. The Tigers finally get a hand on Harrington.
And Missouri was so tired, they weren't able to catch up to the passes.
And look at all the time that's elapsing here, Tim.
Well, they didn't want to foul Corey Bradford, but at this point, you've got to get the first guy you can make contact with on the line.
So now they will send Harrington. Yeah, they had to get a quick foul. So Grauer, I believe, has picked up his 5th foul. He's fouled out with 8 points. The senior will foul out his final bragging rights game. Real proud of his son, and what a terrific career he's had, and will continue to have at Missouri.
Quinn calls him one of the best leaders that he's ever been around, and that's high praise indeed.
Compared him to Wojciechowski, of course, was down at Duke, the guard. And Harrington, who shoots at 72% from the line, hits the front end.
A poor free throw, Shin. You have to think that maybe the fatigue is affecting their stroke at the free throw line.
Even if he hits this, which he misses, still now a 2-possession game. Gilbert has it in his hands. He'll take it the distance. Can't knock it down.
You got to foul. You got to foul.
Can't foul. And this one is over. And finally, Sergio McClain has got his first victory in the bragging rights game.
And for the first time in 3 years, Sergio McClain and Marcus Griffin will have an enjoyable Christmas.